Happy Friday, everybody. I am Chelsea. I am one of your newer recruiters to Tri-State. I am going to be a new face. Normally Riley does this, but she has moved on to greater endeavors for us. So I wanted to just hop on here, say Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Also want to say if you are driving, please watch this later. It will be up as a recorded video for you to watch at a later time when you are safely parked and hands-free. So I will wait for a couple of people to hop on. Say hello when you have hopped on. We have some awesome messages today, some big things coming, some other things coming. So hop on when you get on. Remember to do this safely while you are not driving. I see a couple of people hopping on, so we will go ahead and get started here in just a minute. Today we have Ruth Green and Cheryl Hinkle from your Human Resources Department here at Tri-State Roadmaster Group. So give me just a second, let me turn you around, and I'll let the ladies take it over. Go ahead, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So happy Friday. I want to start off first by saying, happy Veterans Day for all of our veterans. We just really appreciate you. Your sacrifice is not unnoticed. It should be acknowledged every day. Thank you for your service, and you're very appreciated. We have quite a few things that we're going to touch on today. I'm sure you guys have been inundated with emails from DASKE. It is open enrollment. So open enrollment started last Wednesday. I do not remember the date. The second. Yes. Through the 16th. I know that somewhere in the back of my mind, but I was like, and the dates are out of my mind. So anyway, it's right in the middle of open enrollment. We wanted to take a little bit of time to kind of go over some of the changes this year, to remind you guys that to go ahead and enroll, and give an opportunity to answer any questions that we can that you guys have. Chelsea will read those to us periodically when we ask for them, because I'm not smart enough to do the thing and read the comments and look, and yeah, that's way too much stress. So as we have those coming in, we'll answer. But one of the things we wanted to go over this year, with your open enrollment, it is a passive enrollment, which basically means that if you want to keep the insurances you currently have, then you don't have to go in through enrollment. Everything that you have will roll over, with the exception of, you always have to actively enroll if you have the health savings account, and you always have to actively enroll if you have the flexible spending account. So if you have those two things currently, you have to go through enrollment. Do not forget that. Another thing this year, and Ruth is going to go over the details, but we went from 4 medical plans down to 3. That's different. The gold and the silver plan that we had this year kind of merged together. They kind of split the difference between those. So if you were in the gold plan last year, you probably got specific communication that came just to you. But if you were on the gold plan last year, you will automatically be defaulted to the, choice?
Health choice.
Yeah, to the health choice plan, which is kind of the in between the gold and the silver that we had last year. So if you don't enroll, that will happen, but we strongly encourage you to go on to the portal, do your enrollment. You want to make sure what you have. You want to make sure if there's any, address changes. Are your beneficiaries the same? Are they correct? Like, it's always a great opportunity to go in there and review those things and make sure that you have the elections that you want. I'm going to let Ruth go over the medical plan differences. I'm still struggling. I know we're kind of used to calling them what we did last year, the bronze, the silver, the gold, the platinum. Now this year they've renamed them. It's the select, the choice, and the advantage. And Ruth is going to go over the changes that we have with those plans, and then we'll kind of talk about some other benefits that we have.
Okay. So I'll start off with the Health Select, which was previously the bronze plan. The biggest change, I would say, with the Health Select is that in years past on the Bronze plan, you had a 40% co-insurance, which is the amount that you're responsible for any medical expenses after you've met your deductible. In years past, the Bronze plan was 40%, and now it's going to be 20%, which is a huge savings for any medical expenses that you have. So that's really exciting. And then with the Health Choice, it's kind of a smush together of the Gold plan and the Silver plan. So if you were on the Gold plan this year, then and you stay with the Health Choice, then your deductible will be $2,000 instead of $1,500 for the individual. However, your premiums are going down. For employee only, your premium is only going to be $1,594 per week, and then $117.86 per week for employee and spouse, which is a little bit less, and then you have your $30 stipend as well. And children went down about $10. It's going to be $78.11, and then you'll have your $10 stipend. And then the whole family is $156.92 per week, which is also a little bit less than the Gold plan. And then don't forget about the $30 stipend on that as well. So, and it's still 20% co-insurance with the Health Choice. The main difference this year is going to be that the deductible is a little bit more, and but your premiums are going down as well. And then with the Health Advantage, really the only main thing that changed on it was the individual deductible went from $500 to $1,000. So the deductible on the Health Advantage, which would currently be your Platinum plan, had went up just slightly as well. But as far as the medical, that's really the main differences this year. But again, as Cheryl said, we have the 2023 benefits enrollment guide is in the RMG app under the Human Resources Library. So, that's an easy, you all are in the RMG app daily, so that's an easy place to go in, flip through, check out all the different things. There might be something that you currently don't have that you might want to go ahead and get this year. Open enrollment is a great time to make any changes that you wish you would have made or would like to change for next year.
And one of the things too, Ruth brought up on the stipends, we want to remind everybody, when you're enrolling through the portal or online, the cost that they're giving you is the DASKE cost. They don't, like, RMG is the only group that actually contributes and reimburses through that stipend. So just know, like on the portal, on the right-hand side, it's kind of calculating your weekly deductions that are going to come. Those stipends are not going to show on there. That's something we do internally to go back towards your check. So just keep that in mind. Are there any questions on that so far?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Do you want to go on?
No, go ahead.
I know I drive Ruth insane because I'm always like, we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants. I stress her out so much.
I like to have a plan.
And I'm just like, we got this. So another thing that we want to go over is remind people, if you have the critical care or the hospital indemnity, those plans have the wellness benefit. Accident coverage, yeah. Those plans have the wellness benefit of the $50 that you get. Don't forget to claim those. We have a lot of people that have those coverages that probably miss out on that money every year. If you go and have, a wellness exam, a mammogram, colonoscopy, all those kind of things, anything that's considered a wellness visit, if you submit that in on those plans, you get that $50 check that comes back to you. I actually did mine the other day, and it it was really easy, and I preach it every year and then I forget. So this is the first year I actually submitted it, and you know, it was very easy. I went to the Voya.com claims or whatever and submitted the wellness claim, tagged both of those plans that I have, and then it just said it would, you know, take a couple of weeks to process, so it was really easy. Are there any of the other plans that we should talk about? There's not the EAP, if you want to kind of go over the EAP.
Another change is the Employee Assistance Program. That is it's 100% confidential. You can reach out 24/7 with a phone conversation. And in the past, they had 3 free face-to-face visits with a counselor or someone who can, you know, provide legal advice. This year, they're upping it to 5 free face-to-face visits. And, you know, you can reach out to them for, you know, grief, emotional support, stress, anxiety. There's a whole list
What
of
I give
things.
her.
I'll be calling the EAP when we get off this. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a great resource. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a benefit for, you know, being a part of the Roadmaster Group DASKI benefits. So it's a great resource, and it doesn't cost you anything. And then now, like she said, you get 5 free face-to-face visits a year with a counselor or someone that can offer legal advice. And that's per subject, too. That's not, you know, if you call for something after the first of the year and get some free visits, then later on in the year something else happens, or maybe you need help making a will or budgeting advice, then that would get you another free 5 face-to-face visits. So it's a great benefit.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I feel like is extremely underutilized. You know, people, because they're not paying for it, they forget that they have that available to them. You know, it's, I said this the other day, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Sometimes you just need,
With
you
the
know,
holidays approaching, that's a hard time for some people.
You know, if you're dealing with loss and you have the holidays, that is a hard time. And sometimes talking to somebody, you know, that you don't know, that doesn't have any biases or judgment or anything, it can really help. So make sure that you guys, you know that's out there to use.
Yeah.
Anybody on the HR team can, you know, give you the information if you call in and you need it. Ruth probably faster than me, I can promise you that. It's going to take me a little bit to get it, but I think that open enrollment every year, you know, a lot of times people will just like, oh, I'm just going to keep what I have, I'm not going to mess with it. But you know, we try to encourage people to look at your choices that you're making. Are those the right choices for you? You know, with the select plan that used to be the bronze, you know, going down in co-insurance from 40% to 20%. You know, there's a lot of times if you're not a high utilizer of the plan, you can save money by going to one of those. You know, whether it's the select or the choice. If you're on that advantage plan, paying those premiums every week for something that you're not utilizing, boy, you can save a lot of money and be able to build up, you know, put that in conjunction with an HSA, and, you know, you can build that money up in that HSA for your deductible or something if something should happen. So anybody on the HR team is going to be available to answer questions. You know, we can't tell you what's the best plan for you, but we can definitely be able to walk you through the situation and, you know, be able to help you make an informed choice if you're struggling with any of that. Just reach out, and anybody on the team can go ahead and help you with that. So, are there any other insurance things that we should
That's
touch
really,
on?
yeah, that's
Okay.
really the only changes this year.
Okay, so it closes on the 16th,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yep.
is next
Next
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. So make sure you get that done before then, and we may do a fun drawing or something. Make sure, like, go in and pull people who actively enrolled, and then have a drawing of those people for some
Ooh,
gift cards or something. So
I like that idea.
sneak peek, get in there and do your enrollments. See, that's what happens when I'm off the fly, and, you know, just kind of like, oh yeah, we could do some gift cards. So, a couple of other things that we need to touch base on that Andy had reached out to me. I don't know where my email went. Safety related. We're coming into the season to where we have a lot of the winter weather that we are going to be dealing with. It kind of happened here today. I think we were 80 yesterday or something like that, and then it's like not quite 40 out there today. The wind's blowing. It feels 32. It's so, and it looks like it's going to be that way for a while. So I know you guys going all over the country. You know, a lot of those areas are already experiencing the winter weather. So from a safety standpoint, you know your surroundings. Slip and falls are really elevated during the winter season. Make sure that you are wearing your correct gear when you're out there. You know, don't be trying to do stuff when you're outside without jackets on. Make sure if it's slick, you're watching your footing. Slowing down, on those roadways. Don't be driving like you have dry pavement when there's, snow and ice or sleet or something like that on the road. So slow down, be careful, and if it's really bad, then don't chance it. It's not worth it. So always communicate with your DM and safety if you guys are running into weather out there conditions. But tis the season. We'll say that. Another thing I want to touch base on is something really cool that we're going to participate in this year. So we're going to participate in Wreaths Across America. This is a pretty big deal for the trucking world. Wreaths Across America supplies wreaths to cemeteries, scouting programs. It's a lot of the things that they do with wreaths to honor vets. So we are participating in that this year. We are going to ask for a company team to volunteer, and we're going to ask for an owner-operator team to volunteer. This is your chance to give back. We would love to have, some interest in that and have people. I think it starts, I've got to read my notes. I apologize because Mike Fisk was going to do Facebook today, and I booted him out. I told him it was my turn with open enrollment, so I have to read his notes. So we're needing a company and an owner-operator team. It's going to be from 7 to 14 days each. They're going to be picking up wreaths in Maine, and they would deliver them to various distribution points across the country. Danny Garcia is going to be the one that we have as the company designation to manage that. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to Danny Garcia. I should have looked up his phone number. 1-800-ASK-DANNY. So call our main number, and Danny Garcia is who you will reach out for. I will have Chelsea on the Facebook Live page thing put a comment with Danny's extension because I was bad and I didn't look that up. So if you're interested, reach out to Danny. He can give you more information on that, and that's a great way to give back. Definitely, especially, I think it's appropriate for Veterans Day to talk about that. That's a big thing to be able to give back. Another thing, is there any questions?
We just had one that what does Wreaths Across America consist of? But that's probably something we need to reach out to Danny Garcia, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's the wreaths that actually they pick them up in Maine, and then that organization, they deliver them to lots. It's all volunteer. They get them to various places across the country so they can put those on cemeteries, memorials, those kind of things. And I know a lot of the scouting programs will use those wreaths for a lot of that veteran-related stuff as well. I think more information too, you can go to wreathsamerica.org if they want to look at that. So lastly, I think there's been quite a bit of hubbub and stuff going on with fuel shortages or rumors of fuel shortages.
Fuel
Shortages. I swear that's just Monster. I probably need to lay off the Monster. So there's been some rumors about that. There are some places that are low but it is not anything on a fuel shortage. It's actually, we got some information back from California and Arizona are the places that were affected by a small fire in a refinery. And so the pilot is who we reached out to. There's no stores that are out of fuel. There are some watch list sites that are low but not out. And when they experience those, getting low, basically that's normally taken care of within just a matter of an hour or two. So I guess these are I should have asked, these must be the pilot numbers. 612 in Winslow, Arizona, 305 in Jamestown, New Mexico, 1270 in Holbrook, Arizona, 1212, 1215 in Salome, Arizona. There's a lot of numbers in front of this in Eloy, Arizona, and Gila Bend, Arizona. So those are just places that are experiencing lower fuel, but it's only because of the small fire. I know there's a lot of probably misconceptions and things going on because of the wonderful economy that we're in right now. But if there's not any questions,
We have an unrelated question asking about salary increase expected.
a driver question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they just did driver increases this year. How long ago was that?
Back in early summer.
Yeah. So I am not aware of any. I know that they just did that and looked at it and did increases. I would say if you had questions on that, probably that's a Mike Fisk question. Reach out to him if there's any concerns. But I do know that they did increases sometime within this year for drivers. Okay. So without further ado, we just want to say have a happy Friday, happy Veterans Day again. Thank you for all of our veterans for your service. You need to be recognized every single day. We're thankful. We get to enjoy our freedom because of you, and that is very much appreciated. We appreciate everybody out on the road. Please be safe.